recorded. Okay, perfect. So, like I was saying before, this is still round 1 of the Sun-Tzu Cup, so we're still on here. Now, because we had 6 participants, we didn't actually have a full bracket, so we had to modify it slightly. So yesterday, we casted the game of Archie versus Gwen, Gwen taking that out in 2 games to 0. So Archie will be playing the winner of Mike Jet versus Boxer Saint, and Gwen will be playing the winner of Hooplah versus MrFluffyBunny. So, without further ado, let's get into it, guys. So, let's introduce you to our opponents. So today we'll be casting Hooplah versus MrFluffyBunny. So we've got him under Big Wet Buns is MrFluffyBunny. 710 matches, 363 wins, 51% win percentage. Highest ELO is 1,311. And his current rating is 1,188. We've got Hooplah, who is a little bit lower in terms of their highest rating as well. So substantially lower. We're looking at just about 100. So 1212 for highest rating. Current rating is 1134. 95 wins out of 176 matches. So between the two, MrFluffyBunny definitely has the experience there and in those 710 1v1s. So it'll be interesting to see what happens between these two guys. They were quite similar. So I think their tournament ELOs, we did have a little bit of... So Hooplah came in at 1134 and MrFluffyBunny at 1258. So because of that, with the 100 ELO difference, there is a handicap for Hooplah, who will be able to pick a Civ before the bans occur. So let's get the draft up. So before this, actually, we'll replay this in a second. Just so you guys know, these are the maps that we do have. So it's from the Mad Random Map mod. So if you've been keeping up with the stream so far, you'll be fairly familiar with it. So the first map that we have, I'm not actually sure. I couldn't see. So from the information I don't have, we'll have to wait until we get to game 1 to open it up to know which game it is. And then essentially the way it's going to work is each player will have a list of these maps. Both players take a turn of banning a map each, and then after that they will select one home map each at this stage in round 1 and in round 2, and they will play their home map in the event that they lose a game. So say for instance, if Hooplah loses round 1, his home map is Double Arena. Whereas on the other side, if MrFluffyBunny loses game, if MrFluffyBunny loses game 1, he is selected Island Hideout. Sorry guys, got distracted slightly because I do have the inside source. Hooplah is in stream and he has confirmed that game 1 is actually Inception. 2TC, love it. So we can get a little bit of description beforehand, because obviously with the Sun-Tzu Cup, this isn't about, mainly meta strategies. There's a few maps where you could incorporate somewhat of a meta strat, but majority of them, they go out the window, such as Inception. So players have 2 bases which are separated by a ring of trees. The amount of multitasking that players will have to deal with in order to maintain control will be enormous. So essentially you've got a ring of trees, 2 town centers, one on the outside, one on the inside, a little bit of a pond in the middle, and a lot of res on the outside here, such as gold, stone, whatnot. So from the get-go, both players are going to have 2 TCs. It's almost like you've got kind of 2 maps to control, right? So you've got to win the middle, you've got a lot of fish in there, and then win the outside for a lot of the gold and stone. So it's a bit of a delicate balance. All right, so I think we have everything up. Let's run. So with that in mind, with Inception as game 1, and Hooplah selecting Double Arena, and let's get that up, just so you guys know. Literally, just as it sounds, there's 2 town centers with a double layer wall starting objects. So I think there's a monument in the middle as well, where you'll be able to get resources, and MrFluffyBunny selected Island Hideout. Players start on the same island. A clump of trees separates them from the middle where the extra resources are. Water control is important, but early land aggression can be effective as well, since the rocky slopes on the island make walling difficult. So it's quite difficult to wall in on this, a little bit like a normal hideout, but the whole goal is to get into the middle because that's where all the gold and stone are. So if you tuned in yesterday, you would have seen Gwen versus Archie. This was played and Archie did a really good job of getting into the middle to try and own the resources. However, Gwen just countered that really well with a fast imp, which was really impressive to see. If you haven't already, make sure you go watch that VOD after this. So, without further ado, let's get started. Give me 1 second, guys, while I just do a few little things. But how we doing, guys? Hoopla's in chat, Cole's in chat, Slaz is in chat. How are we all doing? How's the day's been? How's the morning? Excuse me while I just hide my face for a second. I want to be able to get chat up in this mode so you guys can see your messages pop up while we cast. Here we go, widgets. Let's get chat box. Perfect. Could I please get some spams in chat so we can see if it comes up on the screen? Just spam emotes, spam messages. Let's see how this is going to look. Any moment, guys. Spam those messages. There we go, Slaz. There we go. Excellent. Thank you, guys. Perfect. Awesome. All right, cool. So we've got the little chat box in there, so we'll be able to see messages come up in real time. Perfect. Alrighty, so let's get into it. Let's load up the game. I do have volume muted, but that won't be a problem when we use Capture Age. So I'm super excited about this one. Hold on, before I get too ahead of myself, we haven't played the draft. So with that in mind, let's watch the draft. So remember, because Hoopla has that 100 elo difference, he will get a pick before the bans. And polls with the banner of garages. Gajara, sorry. I like the poles pick. The double arena could be lethal with the poles as well. Getting that stone and gold income. And ban for the Bengalis. Persians with the first pick, and Fluster will now pick his second pick as it's a Serpentine auto draft with the Aztecs. Seeing a bit of cavalry, perhaps some infantry as well, the Aztecs, some monks. We have now Huns and Burgundians coming in for Hoopla. Hindustanis. And Khmer. So a bit of a camel and cav peak there from Fluster. Italians, so could be good on the water map. And Celts, which is interesting with Fluffy going the island hideout. You think that you'd think that he would have gone that in one of his top picks. So that's the really good pick for Hoopla in the event he does take out one of the games and is forced to go on island hideout. They will get that substantial lead, being able to cut through the wood line a lot quicker. I wonder if you'll be able to take advantage of that if it comes to an island hideout game. And Frank's solid picks. So in a nutshell, Paddling Bengali ban. Yeah, I'm rather surprised there. So we're looking at a lot of cav for the first few picks. A bit of CA as well. I like that. Still have an Archer Civ with the a Siege Infantry, so I like that from Hoopla. Good little lineup. I especially like the pickup with the Celts at the end. Persians, Cavalry, a bit more of like Monk Infantry. So Hindustanis are quite versatile. I think they are getting nerfed in the next update as well, especially with that unique unit. Obviously, you're going to look at a lot more camels. And a unique unit is almost like an eagle in a way. Khmer, Fluffy is quite strong with the Khmer, but whether or not he'll be able to translate that into one of the games here for the meta strat is another one. He loves last time in Mediocre Cup. Forget against who, but he did do quite a good Feudal Age all-in with Khmer. Feudal Age all-in Scouts with Khmer. And Frank's another Cav Civ. Alrighty guys, let's get into the games. Here we are. Let's load this up. Spectate with Capture Age. Okay, now let me get it onto the main screen. Alright, and we do have some sound. That's perfect. That's great. Alright. Alrighty, team. Here we are. Game 1. Inception. So like we were saying, we were explaining before, you start off with 2 TCs. You've got to be able to micro both, obviously. Even direct both, set both waypoints, be able to manage both economies, and also that how the housing situation is going to get a lot hairier a lot quickly. So really making sure you're putting down those houses is going to be extremely important. There we go. We see bigger wet buns going straight in, and already we have some scouts on the way going in. And think of it as well, it's almost like you do have the two maps almost, because you've got a scout on both sides for both players, right? So we'll have a look now at Mr. Fluffy Bunny's view. So doing a bit of scouting in the middle and also on the outside. And the same with Hoopla. Now venturing out. Oh, Mr. Fluffy Bunny has caught on, but I think he's ignored. You might want to get those sheep back to his town centre though. And Bengalis would be insane on this map actually. Paddlin, explain. Give me more details. What's the Bengalis bonus? So a bit of more of a mellow start. Well, alright, let's zoom out for a second. Let's have a look at Mr. Fluffy Bunny. We've got 10 for food, 5 on wood, and Hoopla on the other hand. We're going to have 13 on food, 3 on wood. Neither player really committing heavily to the fish in the middle. Keep in mind there's only about 4 deep sea fish, and then you've got a few shore fish. There's actually just as much shore fish, maybe a little bit more shore fish as well. Hoopla is going to cop a little bit of arrow fire there, so Mr. Fluffy Bunny and Hoopla have kind of taken a bit of TC fire from both. Paddlin makes a very good point with, and so does Hoopla, about the extra villages that you get whenever you go upper age with the Bengalis. So quite a smart ban from Mr. Fluffy Bunny. I wonder if that was Hoopla's strategy. But in saying that, Mr. Fluffy Bunny could have picked that civ up as well on the ban. Taking his ball now, and is also on berries. Does he notice it in time? And he's going to cop a bit. And I don't know, has he forgotten? I think he may have forgotten that to stay under the town centre. Does garrison the villain time though. Perfect, great lure. Both players now. And we do see a dock from Hoopla, and we did just miss it, but Mr. Fluffy Bunny has lost his scout on the outside. Hoopla's scout now on low HP, but he's going to have free reign to be able to scout as he wants. Hasn't done a lot of scouting near Fluffy's base, but has done more on his. Whereas on the other side, Mr. Fluffy Bunny knows exactly where the town centre is. Now, I suppose it's kind of give and take, right? You know that the other opponent's going to be on the other side, so it's not a huge deal. But nonetheless, doesn't get to really scatter out along here to see what resources he has, or the relics, for instance, as well. So, let me get that up. There we are. So idle TC time, Big Wet Buns is almost double that of Hoopla. It makes me wonder if Hoopla's been practicing the 2 TCs for this tournament. Obviously that's what's going to be crucial really at the moment, and we have a lot on wood from Hoopla. Neither player's clicking up. Hoopla does have the dock in the middle. Mr. Fluffy Bunny now has 4 farms, is on berries. Sorry, 8 farms. And already going on stone on the outside. Getting a bit more of a scout. Let's have a look. I have a feeling, could we see a bit more of, so you can see exactly where the gold is. Could we see a tower over the gold? Mackie, welcome. I have a feeling we might see something, some shenanigans, or could we even see a bit of a tower over here? Fluffy Bunny already clicking up on 28 vils versus Hoopla's 43, 45. Is that right? Am I seeing this right? Amazing. Huge. I think a big advantage on this map as well, which we may not have accounted for, is how Huns actually don't need houses. You haven't even had to worry about building a house. You just go for it. Produce those vils. Get the vils out. Get enough villagers getting getting food, so you can get a constant production, and just go for it. Go hell for leather. Huge on this map. And the fishing ships taking the fish in the middle was already going to take one, starting to take the other one. Could clean them all up here. I have a feeling that that pond is just going to be Hoopla's. We're almost about to hit into feudal from Mr. Fluffy Bunny. Hoopla has clicked up, but he's going to be a minute 40 behind. Like we were saying before, this could be huge. Fluffy can take advantage of the early uptime. Are we going to see some towering with all that stone? Or are we going for the Khmer fast castle into a castle drop? We're almost at that point. I think we are. Doesn't need the extra buildings. Hasn't started producing any vils. I think Fluffy's going all in. I love it. Here we go. Aggressive, straight into it. Where, though, would you drop the castle? In the middle? But if you drop it in the middle, there's not a lot of gold. There's not a lot of stone. A lot of that's kind of near the edge of the opponent's base, right? So you probably want to drop it somewhere here. Deny a little bit of food. Deny some wood lines. And also, more importantly, then your opponent can't get out. If you're able to wall on the other side of the map, you could really bottleneck your opponent here. Depending on what happens in the middle as well, though. Hoopla is getting the res. Hoopla has clicked up. Does have a barracks. Are we going to see some scouts? Mr. Fluffy Bunny about halfway. And also grabbing that stone in the middle. Got a scout fight, and Mr. Fluffy Bunny will take it out. I think it's safe to say now that Hoopla, he's just going to be able to take all that fish. So he's going to have a bit of a food bonus here. Altogether 17 on stone. So I wonder if we're just going to see castle drop after castle drop from the Khmer player. Mr. Fluffy Bunny going very aggressive. And similar, but just on the other side. The big wet buns. That's exactly it, Captain Zhao. We've got the big wet buns. Perfect. Now, the hard part is here we go. Outpost just to scout around. Let's have a look to see what Mr. Fluffy Bunny, the big wet buns, can see. And we do have Castle Age already coming in. Oh, that's right on the town center. I don't know if that's enough villas to be doing that. You want at least 8 villas, be able to wall in, construct that. That gives Hoopla just enough time to be able to construct a tower. And let's see what the response is. Here we go. Walling himself in, protecting it. I love it. That's great. Be proactive about it. Make sure that you're in. Almost enough for a second castle. Is this going to be a double castle drop? Hoopla gets the market up. And Mr. Fluffy Bunny has dropped the castle, but I think he's going to be able to see it is. It's a double castle drop right on his face both times. Both TCs. And Hoopla is going to get that up, and I think that's going to deny the castle. That's not enough vills. 4 vills, I don't think it's enough. That's going to pick him off. Hoopla is going to be able to deny that. He's going to get in a palisade. This castle doesn't get up. But in the meantime, we've got 7 villas constructing the one on the inside. It's still going to deny a lot of gold. If Fluffster is able to secure that gold, that is going to be huge. And going back, as we suspected, those villas go down. That castle at 65% construction. But I think it's safe to say this one's going to get up though. So this is still going to disrupt Hoopla. And it looks like it's just short of the town centre though. I don't think it's going to be able to range the town centre unless he gets fletching. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Oh, just gets it up. Just in time. Oh, no way. I didn't even notice all of the scouts. There's double stable into the knights now. So close to denying that second castle. Huge for Mr. Fluffy Bunny being able to get that up still, though. And Hoopla is kind of recognizing, I think, that, okay, the move now isn't to be able to chip away slowly at this with a scout and a couple of knights. The biggest thing though, this idle TC time, I think Buns has just been looking at those castle drops. He's just gone all in. Wanted to drop both times with a castle, so it does actually just range the town centre. Just. Now Hoopla pulling out. He doesn't have the upgrades just yet to be able to fight under the TC, so that's a good move. Be able to pull him to the side, let the upgrades mass, and just keep pestering. Fluffster now producing a couple of vills. And also the ballista elephants coming in now, really causing some havoc. And hold on, Fluffster's going in. He's saying that hold on, I'm getting this castle up. This castle needs to get up. I invested a lot of resources into this castle. There's blood, sweat, and tears in this thing. Mainly blood, lots of blood into this castle. Is it going to get up? We're on 68%. Another vill. Is it going to get picked off? If you get just under the range, I don't think we see this get up again, unfortunately. Another tower going up. His ballista elephant still putting in work. That villager also giving some uppercuts to the blacksmith. And as we suspected, that castle still is denied. 77%. Now Fluffy taking all of that stone that he had in the middle, and he has been pushed off that stone completely. Hoopla is just going to keep pestering, and I think at this point in time, we can already sense what's happened. You can already see, you can feel Fluffy's gone all in with the strat. Invested a lot into those castles, and if he was able to be able to get those 2 up, Hoopla would have had to have moved out, denying both main golds, and only getting some little chump change on the sides. So it was a really great idea. I love the strategy. I love the approach that Mr. Fluffy Bunny has taken, and we do have a castle from Hoopla as well, a defensive castle of his own. So he will lose that TC, but at least he's not out of the game in terms of the center, so he can still be able to take the wood from the middle pretty comfortably. Plus they're now making a castle at home. Castles galore at the moment. And we still just see, though, the biggest thing that's just glaring at us at the moment is that 73 to 28. I think Fluster just needs those extra town centres. But also, villages on wood would be huge. And nice picks here from Hooplah. And we did notice that there's the trade card that's coming out. You know, just to be able to say, hey, what's going on? You know, let's do some trading. You build might have been a gentleman's agreement at the start. Let's both build a market and we can trade with each other in the middle. The trade cart flex. I can waste resources on a trade cart. It's not going to affect me, man. And Fluffster now cutting through. I do like this. Be able to get through with the ballista ellies on this map. Imagine if you had both of the castles, be able to go straight through. I don't need to make it 2 maps. I just need to make it the 1. Get my ballista ellies out and you're in trouble, son. Be able to push him off stone as well. These ballista ellies really causing some drama for Hooplah. Those stables as well, under the fire of the castle. But still, the 74 to 26 villager count. Fluffy's really got to start capitalizing. While Hooplah is still producing more knights with +1 upgrades for both attack. And Hooplah now going to build that castle. Maybe a little bit more in your face. I would have liked it maybe just right on the TC, return the favor, put that pressure on. You put it right on his TC, take down the TC. Or even on the other side, be able to take the gold. Deny the gold. But let's have a look to see. Oh. And yes, there we go. There we go. Exactly what we want to see. So we can see Hooplah's point of view now. And those ballista ellies getting worked over by some knights. I think those knights are slowly but surely be able to get through. Let's see if Mr. Fluffy Bunny can respond. So Hooplah has scattered the gold. That is originally wanted to check. We don't see the castle drop on the gold, but we still at least see it on the town centre. So that's one of the 2 that we still get. Now we are going to get a monastery from Mr. Fluffy Bunny. Possibly some conversions of these knights. Those knights do take the mass from those ballista ellies. No one on food, no one on gold. I think the no one on food here does hurt the big wet buns. And Mr. Fluffy Bunny has done well to keep in this. Those ballista ellies really causing some havoc. It really did a number. And we do have some idle villas in here from Hooplah as well. Idle villas quite all around, really. The idle TC time is creeping up for Hooplah as well. The idle eco from Hooplah, though, in here, whoop, at 18%. So those villages, while they are a lot higher, quadruple in number, not doing as much work. They're just kind of chilling. They've got their hours. They're on annual leave. They've done a lot of work, and they've just been like, you know what? Let's chill out. And Gwen, thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate that. How's your stream? It is this Castle Drop City over here. And it does feel like at this point in time, it's kind of just a bit of a race to Imperial almost. But Hooplah controlling the map, doing a really good job. Still has a few idle villages around. But that 84 to 26, I think, is what's going to be huge. And we do have a Wallalow, where that's coming from. Right here, the redemption. Is he going to be able to take... Oh, no. Did he shoot down the stable beforehand? Unlucky. That would have been a great pick, though. But the hard part is, with no one on food, and Hooplah now has just taken all of that food in the middle as well. So he's had a food abundance. So it's quite hard for the Fluster at the moment to be able to pull this back without any food income, really. Can't produce villages, can't produce military. Suppose the only thing that you can do is, hey, I'm just going to take everything that you have. I'm gonna convert some villas. I'm gonna make them my villas. I'm going to take your market, make it my market. Why not? At least utilizing that gold. And unlucky to actually not get any converts. And Hooplah deleting the market. Notices just in time. Gonna take the lumber camp? Why not? And a bit of a stagnation. Was the very hard to fill the Saracens campaign in more of a bit of a senses. Ah, excellent, Gwen. Happy to hear. I haven't played much of the campaign myself. Doesn't matter. There's at least a lumber camp now, and does get the light cav converted. So Fluffster going to get his own light cav. Going to heal it up a bit. Get you ship shape for battle, son. We're going to send you straight under this castle. You can take some castle fire, right? You're going to take out that trade cart. That is the objective. And that knight now doing a little bit of work on some villas. I don't know if Hooplah notices. There's a few fronts at the moment. There's a few town centres around. Hooplah on 4 TCs. Oh, here we go. And Hooplah does notice. Does pick it off with the knights. Getting payback for the villas that a knight sniped after converting to the enemy. Converting to the big wet buns. Worshipping them big wet buns. What? And fishing ships now getting converted. Does have the dock. This is just no fish. Still 28 to 105 vils. Pretty tough to see a swing in momentum from here though. Just keeps on picking with the monks. Hooplah now getting the market back. And that scout healed up, ready to go. Let's pick off some villages. And Hooplah yet to notice. That's annoying though. Just the one light cav coming in, just disrupting, and now attacking a farm. And I think we're going to notice. Oh no, TC repair. There we go. There's the garrison. Excellent. And that scout is going, or light cav rather, is going to get picked off. And we will probably get a conversion here. We will get a conversion. Getting the full strength knight, we'll probably pick that one off, but we do have another 2 full strength knights over here to fight back. But there's not a lot of vils to pick off. We've got them on the berries, we've got some over here. It looks like majority are going to be over on this wood line here. I think it's just the monks that are really annoying Hooplah at the moment. MrFluffyBunny at least being able to get some food income now with the fishing traps. Really needs that food. At least we've been able to kind of... So we've got 12 on food. Where's the 12? So we've got a castle here, castle on both sides. I don't know if Hooplah's going to notice this castle though, walking straight by it. MrFluffyBunny does wall it in. He's going to deny that gold. And I don't know, I don't think it would have fit, but if it did fit near the hill, that would have been huge to be able to range the TC and the gold, but it doesn't look like it has the foundation strip. And pretty much tit for tat. It's like, okay, you want a castle there? We're going to put a castle here. But I don't know if Hooplah noticed the castle. Let's have a look. Let's see what Hooplah can see. Does he see? Yes, he does with those vils. Yes, he does. And these castles still just going at it. Waiting for these guys to mass up a bit of a force. Be able to really go for the jugular. Either player, like I said, race to imp. Just notice now, Hooplah is almost there. The big buns hasn't got double bit axe or horse collar yet, so he's quite behind in terms of eco as well. Doing a good job though converting the fishing ships and the dock as well. Now at this point in time, you got to think what is going to be the nail in the coffin, and it's definitely going to be imp. So I think these 2 forward castles straight away, as soon as you're in Imperial Age, nothing else, just get those trebs out. Treb down the castles, treb down the TC, straight into GG. Gonna give it to Fluffster though, hanging on. And there we have it. Let's see. We have a treb being produced out of this front castle. And we have the 2 stables. This monk also going to convert that knight. We'd have another castle. Hooplah now really going to focus on trying to own both sides of the map, really try and bottleneck both. And we have the first treb out. 2 more trebs on the way. One on the inside, one in the middle. Love it. Exactly what we're going for. MrFluffyBunny being able to get that siege workshop now is going to get the ram out and could slowly but surely do some work here on this castle. And even if the treb does pop out, be able to do some work on the treb even. And it looks like the big wet buns is going to try and convert the trebuchet. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure you're going to have to get right up and close to that bad boy, and that gets ranged quite easily by the castle, which is just going to pick it off instantly. And at this point, I think at any moment we can definitely expect a GG. No GG just yet. Fluffs are saying we're done with the map, yeah? I take your signs as a no. So I think at this point in time, it's safe to say it is GG. Very well done by Hooplah. Really doing a good job. I think the biggest thing was denying that castle. If Fluffster had a few more villas, that could have definitely been a different story though. But getting a castle on both town centres would have been huge. And I have no brain power to chat. He's in the zone. Hooplah is going hard. He's trying to knock him down. I don't know if he realises how much of a good position he was in, but it was most definitely GG. I think the castle's everywhere, potentially hiding out in the middle. Wasn't too sure, because let's have a look. Let's see Hooplah's point of view. So really, Hooplah kind of now knowing the pushing in, okay, yeah, we've got everything here, but I don't know if he really would have scouted a lot here. I'm assuming he did at 1 point at least, so potentially had the potential to think otherwise. So really good job by Hooplah being able to deny that castle, and then regrouping after this castle was dropped, making him pay with those scouts and the knights, and forcing the GG in the end. So big wet buns, I think in the end we had a look at the idle TC time at the start, which was huge, but once Hooplah was on the 107, about the 100, I think about 80 really, just that constant villager production. So really well done by Hooplah. 8 hours of idle eco. And that is huge. Hooplah, there we go. We have, if there's 1 point of reference, let's have a look at the idle villas now. So just with the farms, obviously there's a lot of villas to take care of, but having that idle villager button, potentially just checking in now and again to see what villas are idle, what they're doing. Looks like by the end you had a fairly good, nothing too bad. But yeah, I think just that few different points. I wonder if they were still in this town. No, you did ungarrison in the end. So well done. Congratulations, Hooplah, taking out game 1. Let's check out game 2. So it'll be on Island Hideout, MrFluffyBunny's home map. Alrighty, we have game 2. Alrighty guys, so for those of you that don't know, that didn't watch the game yesterday, we do have the abundance of resources in the middle of this map. So all of your gold, all of your stone especially, is going to be in the middle. Now you do start off with 3 tiles of gold in the middle. So it's not like you have nothing from the start. And I'm quite surprised, Hooplah, even though I had celts, isn't going to go with them on this one. He's going to go the Italians for that strong water sieve. So I think we're going to expect to see Hooplah really battle it out for water here. Persians as well, so I think we're going to see a little bit more of a water fight between these two players. Mr. Fluffy Bunny being able to just herd all these sheep together, send them to the slaughter, one by one, pick them off. Alright, next. Hoopla doing the same, just both working as sheep at the moment. Stock standard start. So who do we have, chat? Give us your opinions, your thoughts from game one. Are we going to see another aggressive strat from the Big Wet Buns? Hoopla? What are we going to see? Another well thought out plan? Be able to improvise and adapt to the aggression? What are we going to see? What do we think? Is it going to be Mr. Fluffy Bunny's game being on this map as well? This is his home map. Has he come up with a strat? Does he know? How's his Forest Nothing game? How's the Villager micro? How does the Chopper micro? And Hoopla straight away, 2 vills on the 1 tree. Love it. Mr. Fluffy Bunny, a vill on each one. You know, great for a normal game. But right now, probably not quite what you want to be doing. Hoopla doing the same in both games. You can see Hoopla does love to scout around his little bit of his base at the moment, just to see what's around, you know. Be able to make sure I know where all my resources are. I get all of, oh, here we go. And that scout isn't gonna quite kamikaze. Is that Vil gonna get peaked? Oh, great garrison, just in time. And do we see a re-garrison? Oh, we see some sheep killing, some sheep sniping. You're gonna get some value because I think this scout might escape. Just escapes in time. Unbelievable. Be able to just get that pick, and Mr. Fluffy Bunny coming in, knocking off those sheep. Gwen says disgusting. Let's get it in chat. I want to see, what do we think of sheep killing in tourneys and in ranked 1v1s? Is it okay? Is sheep killing okay? Is it a viable strat? Is it not okay? We have Gwen saying no, it is bad. You don't kill people's sheep. She's not about the laming. She's not a lamer. She's not a lamer, ladies. Not a lamer lady. Rex llama alarm. Alrighty, and we do have a dock now and some views coming forward. I think we're going to see the Persian douche. We've forgotten about this, but is this going to get up in time? Maybe you could chop this single. I think with that many viewers, you can kind of just like go through all of these houses anyway, right? I don't know if Hoopla's scout is on the other side, hasn't really scouted the base just yet, Fluffster's base. Let's check out to see what Fluffy, I think Fluffy did go this way, so Fluffy will kind of know the route a little bit better. Yes, he does, and he knows exactly where to go. He has scouted out quite well, but isn't going to know that Hoopla is fully walled. It's as bad as leaving the tea leaves in the too hot water, burning them. Ooh, that does ruin a good cup of tea. I do agree, Gwen. When you've just left it in there for too long and you take that first sip and you're like, I've made a mistake. I have made a mistake. And some more laming, taking the deer. Got the dock out and some fishing ships on the way from Hoopla. Not quite into feudal just yet. How's a villager micro? Not bad, but could be better, I feel. Just really making sure you get at least 2 vills on each tree. And I wonder if Hoopla has noticed yet. Mr. Fluffy Bunny breaking in, here we go. We're going to get a house coming in now. We're going to be at a house behind the palisades. You want to throw everything in. You definitely don't want to let the Persian player get in. But Mr. Fluffy Bunny is in feudal. And he's going to force more houses to be produced. But the hard part is, I do feel like Hoopla does have the wood to kind of spare. I mean, at this point in time, all you're really doing is just chopping, right? Maybe just lay back on the fishing ships for a little bit. But you really don't want to let the Persian player get this up in time. And the TC has already been deleted, so no more viewers can be produced. You really want to make sure that you drop it the instant that you drop your TC. I haven't douched myself, but I know that is quite an... I think if you placed it here, I don't know if there's enough space though. And those viewers are just going to get picked off. And I think we're going to see in a bit of an early game here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get through even to the middle early enough. And a bit of a Vil fight. Maybe you want to wall up. And we'll get one Vil in. 2 Vils maybe. And great job by Hooplah. Probably want to ungarrison the Vils though. There's not a lot of point trying to take down that Persian town centre. Especially as Hooplah hasn't actually clicked up though. And that's the hard part. Hooplah's still in Dark Age at this point in time. Doesn't quite have the food for it either to click up. So still has that villager lead though, 30-10. Is this going to get up? I have a feeling this might get up. You got to really micro those Vils. It's the hard part. You take out one village, you got to go to the next one. You got to right click that. I think this gets up. I think this gets up. 73%. But how many Vils has that cost? 8, 7, 6 Vils. We have that single Vil left, and it's just going to be able to chew through that palisade. This doesn't get up. Zero attack alerts. 20 Vil difference. Well done by Hooplah, denying this TC drop. And let's see if he can get into the middle. Just at least, you know, be able to soak up the sun a little bit. And it does get up. That one Vil is able to do the job. And it's going to try and repair the town centre. At this point in time, do you leave it? You just focus? I think you just focus on other things, right? You've killed so many Vils. You've only got 6 Vils yourself. Sure, you get a little bit of sheep, but even producing, well, you don't even have the food for the sheep. You've got 2 Vils on food. You're going to have to send all your wood Vils really over. But then you're also trying to repair this town centre. So whilst I said, you know, don't bother about it, I mean, slowly but surely at least it's going to click up. Sorry, slowly but surely it's going to chew through it. Yeah, I think the Buns was going all in both times. You want to see some quick games. I mean, I think MrFluffyBunny wasn't too keen on sitting back and booming. He wanted to try and end the games quickly. At this point in time, I think Hooplah gets the castle age. I think you're right, Gwen. And just going to hang on to this TC. I mean, they're the only 2 Vils there. There's no Vils even returning fire. So at this point, yeah, that TC is staying up for the end of time. Hooplah just about to crack in. I mean, at this point, like, just drop off the wood. Go attack it. You might as well. Go attack those Vils. Bit of a Vil fight. You know, even if you garrison within, you're going to take down that town centre. So it's looking like GG. And Hooplah advancing to round 2 against our very own Gwen's Gaming. And we've got 3. And there we go, the feudal age, click up. MrFluffyBunny not being able to really produce anything out of his town centre. I think you've got the wood, maybe just drop a dock if you wanted to. You know, collect some shorefish. And we have the call out. Is Hooplah available? Gwen's Gaming want to play right now. Out of the 2 of us, Fluffy considers himself the winner because he got the town centre up. at least Hoopla got to experience the thrill of chopping through, being able to get in, get some stone, get some gold. Mr. Fluffy Bunny just kind of chilling those 3 bills. And it is most definitely GG. Fluffster knows it. I think he's just enjoying the last moments of the game. And GG is called. Well done, guys. Well done. Congratulations, Hoopla. Well played, Mr. Fluffy Bunny. Some great games, good responses from both players. Really impressed with, I suppose, Game 1, Hoopla doing really well to be able to push back on no double castle drop, because I mean on both of your town centers at the start of the game, like that would have been quite terrifying. Being able to get that tower up to be able to defend the castle, or defend your town center at least, was quite crucial. And then in this game, I think just walling up early, obviously trying to wall yourself in. I don't think you quite expected the douche to come. I wasn't really thinking it. I was just thinking Persian's quite good with water. I was thinking more of a battle for water, which never quite came. But the Persian douche could have caught everyone off guard there. Didn't quite go that way, losing a lot of views trying to construct it. So unlucky to Mr. Fluffy Bunny. Well played for Hoopla, just knowing the counter, sitting back, being patient, and knowing how to deal with it. So congratulations, guys. That puts Hoopla for 2-0. Taking out the round 1 and advancing to the next round against Gwen's Gaming. Mr. Fluffy Bunny, sadly, our mediocre cup winner, will not advance to the next stage. So we have our bracket. Let's advance Hoopla to here. So we do, oh no, better off just typing it. So we do, our game was played, no spoilers in chat, please. This was live streamed from their point of view. Mike Jet and Boxer Saint, super keen to be able to cast this tomorrow. I actually don't have the recordings right now, otherwise I probably would have powered through and continued with that game. But instead we'll have to do that tomorrow. So stay tuned, we're going to get you that game as soon as possible. And in the meantime, we are going to have Gwen versus Hoopla in the next few days as well. So we do have a little bit of action going on in chat. Lam, GG, I mean, sorta. I'm out of coffee and supposed to be going to sleep. I'm at my most dangerous. So do we have a match? I see the call out. I see Hoopla is available. It's not super late for me. At worst, if it does go to 3 long games, it'll just be a late night, but not a ridiculous late night. So, if you guys did want to play your semi-final a little bit earlier, completely up to you. I will cast it. I'm happy to cast it, do a live stream cast. If not, no problem. We do have a couple of days until the deadline. If both players maybe wanted to scout each other, I'm not too sure. So we'll wait to see what the response is, but we'll see what happens there. But good game from both players. Congratulations, Hoopla. Moving on to round 2. And we have the winner of Mike Jet and Boxer Saint versus Archie. Doing draft right now. It's happening. It is happening, guys. Okay. Alright, give me 1 second. I am going to return. Let me end the recording here as well.